Well, hello there, everybody. What is going on, everybody? It's your old pal, Sean Pierce Johnson here, and welcome back to SPJ Live. Thank you all so much for watching from wherever you're watching in the world, whether you're watching live right now or you are watching sometime in the, hopefully, near future. It's good to be back. It's been a couple weeks, as you know, is the norm. We're doing these things every first and third Thursday, usually of the month. It's kind of the norm for 2021 at the moment. So it gives me more time to actually have something to tell you guys about. I kind of noticed last year doing it like every week, I barely had anything to say. I barely had anything to talk about. And by the way, in StreamYard today, I am manually controlling the volume of the, feed tonight. So if I need to raise the volume of the microphone up a little bit more, or if I need to lower it, please let me know, because the feed that I'm getting right now is just from my interface. That's basically all I'm hearing. So if you want to help me get a little bit of more production value thing going on, make sure everything's sounding good, I would greatly appreciate that. So, what's been going on the last couple weeks? Quite a bit, actually. A lot of things going on around the house. My wife and I have been discussing some projects that need to be done. Now that it seems like, the things are on a downward trajectory and like we can possibly do some things normally here in our area again, we're trying to do things on the house that kind of were prevented from being done in 2020. Now seems like we can get some things done. So I'm very happy about that. One of the things we're going to be looking into doing is getting somebody out here to check our electrical. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this on previous live streams before, but I feel like there's a part of our electrical wiring in this house that's, I just call it dirty power, because sometimes what I'll notice is if when I'm filming a demo or something like that, say I'm using the orange rock reverb or any amp really for that matter, I could probably actually show you guys exactly what I mean. So let's go to, so we're going to go to the Rev G3 pedal right now. Hopefully this will actually do the thing. Now, you normally have grounding whenever you touch any metal part of the guitar because you become a ground for that electrical signal. Now, in previous places that I've played, it's never really been much of an issue. You take your hand away, there's going to be some excess noise like you're hearing right now, but if you guys listen really closely, there's like this ticking thing going on. It almost sounds like clocking noise from an analog delay pedal. And that's just something that I've never experienced other than in this house. So I'm hoping that we can get that issue resolved. And, when I go to record stuff here, I don't have to, finagle positioning. I don't have to finagle like where I'm sitting versus the relationship to the amplifier and all that kind of stuff. It's only something I experience, and I'm pretty sure I can only hear it in this room. Like I can't hear it in other rooms of the house, which is really, really odd. So that's one of the things that I hope to take care of, and hopefully we'll be sorting that out sooner rather than later. Better quality electricity, better quality tone, I suppose I could say. I know there are some power conditioners out there where you can just do like, whatever, and man, those are really expensive. I think Joe Bonamassa was the first guy I saw using them, but now like what's his name, Mark Tremonti has one in his rack, and it's just like the most insane power conditioner that you can possibly buy. Gillis, yeah, at least it's not a radio station. That would happen if I had a fuzz factory. That happens no matter where you go with that pedal, and it sometimes is kind of fun. You can play into it. All right, we got 11 people watching here. We got a thumbs up over on Facebook. We are simulcasting between YouTube and Facebook, wherever you're watching from. Please do feel free to interact with the folks in the chat. I guarantee none of them will bite. I can't actually guarantee that. I can guarantee that I won't bite, but they might bite. Maybe not hard, but they might bite. Let's see who we got here. I know I see a few familiar faces. JJ's House of Jams. How you doing, neighbor? Good to see you. Those of you who don't know, JJ, I found out last year before the world went to hell, lives in the neighborhood next to me. It's really, really interesting. Terry's 3Gs is in the house. How you doing, Terry? Hope things are going up well in the Great White North. Music Therapy Laz is here. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you again. Sassy Cat joining in tonight. How you doing, buddy? Great to see you here. Sassy Cat and I had hung out in the 60 Cycle Hum live streams a couple times, and he's come over here since then. That's kind of nice. I appreciate that, Sassy Cat. I don't think I've ever actually told you that I appreciate it, but I appreciate it. DJ 7-string guitar, how you doing, buddy? That is Darren Judd. He has provided us with a couple pedals that we've seen on the channel over the course of the last couple of years. Namely, last year, he sent me the More Ocean machine to check out, which I really, really enjoyed. And that video is done very well, so thank you, Darren. I really do appreciate that. Janice Lala is here, and yes, it is 8:30 already. That time change just creeps right up on me, and I don't like it. All right. Gillis DeBilio is here, as I said, and he can hear that ticking sound. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. And as he said, at least it's not a radio station. And trouble has arrived. It is the one and only Aaron Lee from Albus. How you doing, buddy? He's on dad duty tonight, so he's probably going to be popping in and out and everything. So good to have you here while you can be, buddy. Just take care of those Wonder Twins. And Charlie Cooper is in the house. How you doing, buddy? It's late where you are right now. For those of you who don't know, Charlie is a good buddy of ours here, not just on the channel, but a good buddy of mine. He, you might recognize the last name of Cooper from my favorite amplifier company of all time, Orange Amplifiers. He is indeed the son of Cliff Cooper, and a good bloke. Good bloke. Well, it's so awesome to see you guys here. Thank you so much for being here. Just trying to do some fun stuff. I have a new pedal board that I'm not going to show you 100% just yet, because I want to actually make a good video about this new pedal board. But everything that you're hearing tonight is going to be any pedals from that pedal board into the Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit 200, since that's kind of the rig that I've been having to use more often than not recently, and that's going into the PreSonus Studio 192 interface, and that's the audio that you are hearing in your speakers, headphones, smartphone, TV. I thought I saw Darren say that he was trying to check out the lag between watching via his PS4 and then watching on his phone. I would be really interested to hear like how much of a delay is actually going on right there. So awesome. Hey, Matt Cisterna in the house. How you doing, buddy? It's been a while since you've been in here, but it's all good to have you. And oh no, everybody run! Everybody run. It's Quentin James. Oh no, we're about to have some fun though. Good to have you here, buddy. It's always a good time when Quentin shows up, causing all kinds of trouble. And look at who we got here. Perfecto de Castro demanding that I show my pedal board. It's heavy and it's set up and I can use it. So, I don't really want to show it. If you want to see at least part of it, I will be posting a small teaser of it on the Stompbox Saturday Instagram after this broadcast. I actually just got word today that the last component of the pedal board has shipped back to me. So hopefully over the weekend, that last little component will be back and I can put this pedal board together in its full realized form and I'm looking forward to that. You know, Perfecto does make a point. The camera is easier to move, and unfortunately, Sassy Cat, I don't have a GoPro. I don't really like GoPros at all. That fisheye lens thing is not for me. Plus, the interface that I have right now, I can't really use two cameras at one time, so I'm stuck with this single cam deal. But I might be able to do some. You know what? Perfecto's right. Perfecto's right. I can move the camera. So I think I'll do that. But I do want to give one last shout out. Randy Upchurch is in the house. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in from Southern Illinois. I don't know many cities that are in Southern Illinois. I'm bad with United States geography, so I apologize, but hey, I'm grateful that you're here, and I hope that you enjoy your time here. We're gonna have a little bit of fun, and I'm gonna, kind of pull you guys for something that I'm working on right now. But you know what? As I said, Perfecto is right. So you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and there. You can see a little bit of it, not a whole lot, but some of the usual suspects going on right there. The Gig Rig G2 is of course part of the system. I have some presets going on. Got a little crunchy thing with the JHS Bonsai. Secret distortion pedal. And then the Rev G3. And actually, Sassy Cat, that's actually a volume pedal. So I have some cool new sounds that I can play a little bit of. You know what, let me go with something a little cleaner. I'll add on some boost from the Compadre. See that? I have the Compadre kind of like turned just ever so slightly. I have it turned ever so slightly. Well, I have it turned 90 degrees so that I can access the boost foot switch with my foot, with my toe, with my foot on the volume pedal, and the compressor always on. So just a little bit of extra boost. So this is a pretty ballsy sound, and ballsy meaning it's clean, but it's got a lot of cool stuff on it. Yeah, I'll just play a little chord. Oh, look, BB's here. Salut, mon ami. How you doing, my friend? Good to have you here. Man, there's a lot of you guys tuning in right now from like a ways away, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. DJ says it's a very wet, clean sound. Indeed it is. Like I said, it's got the Compadre's compressor on, which is in the studio mode all the time. Then immediately right next to that, blah, there we go. Then right next to it, the Boss CE2. Yep, Sean's got himself a CE2. I'm excited about it. I hope you're excited about it too. Ah, the planetarium tone. That's a good one, buddy. That's a good one. And thank you for calling it offensively awesome. That's probably one of the best compliments I've gotten on a sound in a while. And the cable's gone limp. The cable has gone limp, everybody. I don't know what to say about that. That's not my problem. And then that has some, I have the two Walrus Mako pedals right down here, the reverb and the delay. And then right up in this corner right here, which you can you can see it if I do this. There we go. Now you can see the whole thing. The Chase Bliss Mood has made it back onto the board, which I'm stupid excited about. Just because I've been wanting to work it back onto the board for a while now. And, well, I'll just play without it, and then I'll play with it. So that's just the compadre and the CE2, now adding the mood. It's like a glitchy shimmer. And it carries out more the effect the longer I hold the chord. So if I stack on that Walrus reverb, or that's the echo, I haven't labeled the switcher yet. So yeah, moving the camera back up. There we go. All right, there we go. So you guys got a little taste of what's to come on this board. Now, Perfecto did astutely observe empty space. Don't you worry, sir. Don't you worry. That space will be occupied, hopefully, at the very latest by the middle of next week. That space will be occupied and this thing will be full. And Darren had said something about this being the Warwick board. And I did go back to the Warwick board for this one. There was nothing wrong with the Woggy board. It's just what I ended up noticing about that particular board that I had put together on that one is that a lot of the cables that I was using on that board basically just started, shorting out and becoming unreliable. And I wanted to get back on the solderless cables. And unfortunately, with the length of the shaft of the short straight plugs that Sennheiser makes, is they're just a little too long to clear the bridge of the Woggy board. So, excuse me. So that's basically, why I went with this and everything laid out flat so that it helps so I can see everything, of course, but it also is a practical thing with the cabling of being able to use those cables again. BV has a great observation right here. Is that the space for something to not fry? Oh, BV. Oh, BV. You know me all too well. Exactly. That's what's going in the empty space. For those of you who follow on Instagram or Facebook, indeed, the Walrus Audio ACS1 amp cab sim will be going in that empty space, and that's going to be the last thing in the chain. I will not tell you my trickery that I'm going to get up to, why that's going to be at the end of the board, but you can probably guess things. You guys are smart. You can figure it out. Let me see. There's been some good comments rolling through, so I just want to make sure that I actually, I want to actually get to them. Matt asks a question. So, what's the difference between an expression pedal and volume pedal? Which is better? Well, I know that I did see Charlie making a comment on that, so I do want to bring his comment up about that. Volume is really just for volume, where you use the expression just for effects. Wouldn't say any is better, just different functions, and that is basically my answer, Matt. It really just depends exactly what you need, and they don't work necessarily on the same principle. You can actually lapse a volume pedal into a mode to use it as an expression pedal if you have like a Y split. Usually expression pedals are TRS, and they will have a connector that you plug into the pedal, and then that breaks out to two mono jacks. So you plug one into the in of the volume pedal, one into the out, and you essentially have, yourself an expression pedal that way. For the longest time, that's exactly what I did. I had an Ernie Ball 25K volume pedal that just wasn't working as a volume pedal for me. Didn't really like the sound of it very much. And so I basically just got a Y cable, and I would plug it into actually my Vertex Boost, which has a expression pedal in to control volume. So in that instance, hey, there's an expression pedal that can work as volume. And also the Compadre does that as well. You can actually control the volume of, your rig with an expression pedal. So it really is, they're not one and the same. It's really more, what do you actually need? The functions aren't 100% the same. There is some crosstalk between, like, hey, expression pedal can control volume on some pedals, but expression pedals are usually for, speed of modulation, depth of modulation, feedback of delay, controlling delay time. And in the case of, what's on the stool over there, the automaton preamp, I can expression pedal between two completely different settings and double the presets that are on there, which is really cool. This is a cool one. It kind of reminds me of the Digitech Supernatural Ambient Reverb Shimmer mode. I never played that one. When you work for New Neighbor Audio and they make one of the best shimmer reverbs out on the market, you kind of disregard everything. But I do remember that pedal. I do remember it. I like this. Music from the Hearts of Space. I dig that. I dig that. All right. This is cool. 16 people watching, 14 thumbs up. Thank you guys all so much. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Gila says, always leave an empty space for an awesome pedal that has not been invented yet, or just to try stuff. Yep, I agree. And I think eventually what is going to happen with, so this is obviously what I'm working towards, is I want to get a G3 because of the improved MIDI capabilities, so that I can have the automaton and a bunch of other stuff on the board to recall for presets. And also the fact that you can have trails with 4-cable method. That's kind of a big deal to me. But eventually I want to get the G3 and have that on, say, like either a, the Schmidt array boards look really cool. I'd also even just like something lighter, like the Vertex boards look really nice and lightweight with a good stable bridge on it. Just something that has everything that I want, but is consolidated down so that I don't have to, carry around this big honking thing. And obviously something that's lighter weight. That's the one downfall with this current board, is that it is very heavy. But I hopefully won't have to take it places too much. This is going to be probably just a board staying at home. It's going to be a board that I take to church, which is usually a once to twice a month gig for me. It's not every single day. So yeah, that's kind of what my intention is with this board. So let's have a ball with it and have some fun. But I do want to eventually have some spots on the board where I can have like kind of guest loops. So if I want to patch in, say, another overdrive pedal or another fuzz pedal or a different modulation or delay, I can do that very, very easily. That's really funny. I like that. Darren is saying that the lag for the 2 feeds that he's watching has flipped a couple times. Well, that's cool. Oh, man. But yeah, I love this little glitchy, shimmery sound. It's just... It's just so good. It's so much fun to play around with. Let's see. Let's put something else on there. Oh. There's that glitchy ambience thing. Hey, look at who's here. It's Mr. Aljon Go. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hope you and the family are doing well and over in Nash Vegas. Oh, what's this? Have you ever tried the Arnt OC2? Oh, the AMT2 Orange emulator. I haven't tried any AMT pedals. I did email them sometime last year, maybe? It was? Maybe? Trying to, or maybe it was the year before, just trying to see if they'd be into it. Never got a reply back. What's up, Jay? Good to see you, buddy. The glitchy ambience is coming from the Chase Bliss mood. So, just so you guys know. Yeah, Darren, I can get lost in these sounds. Just spacing out and forgetting to do housework. Where especially like with the Fuzzbender and the R1 and the mood. Has a little bit of a weird Vi kind of vibe to it. Quentin asking the real questions here. Because y'all just want to see, y'all just want to see that. Like, I might as well just zoom in on the calendar. And yes, it is set to March. The page is turned to March. Let's see if we can get a little something here. All right, so this distortion pedal, huh? Yep, Charlie, it's all about the calendar. They don't care about anything else. Actually, genius merch idea. Since you guys love calendars so much, I should make a calendar. Ugh. That riff sounds like those moments in the 90s film where an NYC shot is used as filler between scenes. Basically every filler establishing shot in Friends, kind of. Can anybody now you guys saw what it was on the board, but were you paying attention to what was on the board is really the question. Hey, Frank Tenpenny, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by again. I recall seeing your name recently. I don't remember if you showed up like towards the end or if you were there for the whole thing, but I do recall seeing you. Great to have you here, man. Thanks so much for joining in. But this distortion pedal is it's pretty good, right? I think it is. That's actually boosted with the compadre. Well, Darren, you are right. It's one of the vintage pedals. Quentin's got to go get donuts and cigarettes. That's an interesting combination. You're one cup of coffee short from being a stereotypical detective in the police department. But they probably won't let you into the police department without putting you in a cell. I'm kidding! I'm kidding. I'm breaking your balls, man. I'm breaking your balls. Go get your donuts. Go get your cigarettes. Don't be a stranger now. Come back here. Yeah, Charlie, I'm liking this one too. All right. Yeah, so this distortion pedal, wow, just really surprising. Bought it a couple years ago. And in addition to a little bit of studio style compression from the Strymon Compadre and the Walrus Mako D1, we have the venerable now, thanks mostly to Josh Scott and a little bit to myself. I'll give it an 80-20 Josh to me. The Ibanez Session Man. Who knew? Now it's supposed to be a Rat, which I've had Rat pedals before, but never been crazy about them. All of a sudden, like, here's this one, and it sounds really good. Oh man, that's funny. Another lag flip. Oh, hey, Aljon, you'll enjoy this, and I enjoy this too. Frank Tenpenny said, I'm really considering buying the Epiphone DC Pro. Watched your review of this guitar recently, and I'm really digging the instrument. Well, that's awesome, Frank. Thanks so much for watching that, by the way. That's a truly underrated guitar in the Epiphone catalog, I feel. I think one of the problems with that guitar is when it did come out, there was just... It was that time of, like, you know... People were wondering what was going to happen with Gibson, and people weren't so sure about, you know, how Epiphones were going to be. I mean, I've never had an issue with my Gibsons. I've never had an issue with my Epiphones. Aljon and I have talked ad nauseum about that. But it's like that one has some really cool ideas that are very different with the, you've got the split coils on the humbuckers, you've got the phase reversal, but I feel like what that guitar feels like to me is a great amalgamation of taking some old school stylings, putting it onto a different body shape. That's not just another Les Paul. That's not just another SG. It's a little bit of, a little bit of heritage there with the Gibson stuff and the Epiphone stuff. And so you have this really cool amalgamation of newer specifications and older specifications. The neck is maybe just a little, the fingerboard feels a little flatter. It's probably not much flatter than, say, this Les Paul, but it feels a little bit faster. But the neck's also kind of chunky, which, I really like. It's got that feel that I really think it is cool. So I definitely recommend it. I know that between the Kramer Tiger Stripe that we had and the DC Pro, I know my wife vastly preferred the DC Pro over the Pacer. I don't discriminate. When a guitar is good, a guitar is good. You don't discriminate. Here, exactly. This is basically exactly how I feel. The DC Pro was a hint of what was to come in the Epiphone revamp. And trust me, with the things that we've seen with the Epiphone revamp, it's absolutely true, especially with those new prophecies. That's what I'm looking forward to. Oh, dude, this is great. DJ says it's finally happening. They're close enough to sound like a slapback delay. That's awesome. Oh, it's so cool. Oh man, Aljon says he had a deuce tone. Is that was that 2 rat pedals in one pedal? I think that was the deuce tone. And then years ago, they had like rats in a rack, and it was 2 rat circuits that you could, hot swap between. Matt's asking, which is the DC Pro? Terry, if you're watching right now and you're able, would you find a link to the DC Pro video that I did and just put it in the chat? Any one of you guys actually can do that, but I was just thinking about which of my mods were watching tonight. Oh man, you could cascade the 2 channels. Now that would be cool. That would be really cool. Awesome. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate that. But yeah, it's I'm really finding with this session, man, like the volume is up just a little past noon. The tone is set right at 9 o'clock. And the gain is at like 11. And this is the bass sound that we get with the Session Man. And I'm not using the chorus because there is chorus in this. Hold on one sec. I'm running it in parallel right now. Awesome. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate that, buddy. So I'm running it in parallel right now, and you can blend in the chorus signal, but it's a clean chorus signal path. So I might actually... I'm gonna leave the clean path at 9 o'clock just to see if it adds, something to it. But I just love it. I think it sounds awesome. Like unmodded. Just it's supposed to be the signal in this the circuit in the Session Man is identical to Ibanez's Fat Cat distortion, which is essentially their clone of a rat. but I like it. I don't think it needs any modification or anything. And then I have the Compadre running just a little bit of compression into it, and then boost it with the Compadre's boost. Sounds great. Yeah, Darren, you could actually run, you can cascade the two sides of the life pedal. That's kind of the whole point. You use that boost side to just really pummel the amp before you run the rat distortion and that Octavia kind of circuit into it. Thanks, Frank. I agree. Les Paul in half step down. Just a little bit of Phase 90 fun for you there. I need to learn Scarified one day. One day. Oh, thanks, BB. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks so much for joining in the chat. I always am glad to have you here. So it's probably late where you are. Get some sleep, and we'll see you. Maybe we'll see you on another one. There you go. When you're holding a big, fat, heavy LP and you're tuned to E-flat, you must play some Van Halen. Yeah, I would agree with that. It does work really well. This guitar is going to need some TLC soon. Oh, Darren with a question. Speaking of Paul Gilbert, do you think you'll ever demo his JHS signature pedal? Well, I can actually speak to that. I did reach out to JHS last year when the pedal was announced. Since we had done some work together before, I figured we could probably, make that happen. Unfortunately, they weren't in a position to send out pedals for demos. They've been retooling how they work with influencers and everything like that. So I did not get one. They were willing to give me a very nice discount on it, but I was also not in a position to spend money on pedals for content. So as much as I would love to, unless someone gives me the pedal or sends me the pedal to borrow, I'm just not going to be able to do it. I appreciate, what they've done for me in the past. We've had plenty of their pedals on the channel before. But as of right now, with the way that they want to do things and the way that I know I can do things, there's probably not going to be much JHS pedal demos on the channel for the reasonable amount of time. If I am making enough income either from demos or through you guys, sending super chats, sending tips on PayPal, or joining the Patreon, maybe we'll be able to have a point where the income is such that I can take some of those, that income, and then finance the purchasing of a pedal that, you guys will want to see a demo of. But as of right now, with my own income, I just can't make that happen. Yeah, Jay, I would love to do it too because I really do like the JHS product. I have my bonsai here on the board. I still have the clover, but almost every other JHS pedal I have sold off just because when I've needed the spare cash, they hold their value really well on the secondary market. So I've basically just done that. But it does bringing that up does actually give me an opportunity to talk to you guys about something that I was hoping to be able to get your all's opinion on. And that a lot of it concerns, the future of the channel, especially the immediate future of the channel. This is a little bit of inside baseball stuff for you right now. So, don't, if you get bored with it, just say so in the comments. But I think that if I bring this up to you guys now, there won't be any surprises later on. So you guys probably know we're still in the midst of the thing that's going on right now. The thing that if I talk about it, I'll probably get demonetized on. As such, last year when we were starting, we've been basically at this thing for like a year. Basically, at that point last year, like I was still getting some really good, decent work. Companies had their plans in place and they couldn't change them 100%. So I was able to work a lot through last year and, do paid demo work and things like that. And unfortunately, because the supply chain issues have been so abysmal, because of the fact that companies just aren't able to put out the products that they want to put out when they want to put it out, this initial part of the year, it's been very difficult to work with companies because they just don't have anything to send out. And if they don't have anything to send out, they don't have anything to send me to make content for you, nor do they necessarily have the funds to pay me money to make videos related to the content and the gear that they want the content of. So what I decided to do in the next little bit of time, as we kind of start to navigate and things kind of feel like maybe soon, maybe we can start getting some sort of things back to normal. I'm going to be delving into my stores, as it were, and trying to find a way to do Stompbox Saturday still, but by doing it with a bit of a different slant. A little bit of different, vibe, as it were. Well, Aljon has a good point right here. Every guitar we make, we're selling. No extra stock. And that's good. That's good for them because, hey, you guys did all that work to get Epiphone and Kramer and all that stuff up and running. Like, if a company can sell guitars, the company should sell guitars right now. So basically, I want to take these ideas that I have and I want to flesh them out a little bit. But that is going to entail a lot more work. It's going to entail a lot of time spent that I'm not necessarily going to get paid for, other than through your support and through you guys helping me out and spreading the word. So with that in mind, one of the things that I wanted to share with you is I really got lazy with Patreon last year. I neglected it, and to everybody that has considered joining the Patreon, and to everyone that is currently on the Patreon, I apologize. It was very hard to keep up with it, but I think that it's time to give it a little shot in the arm, so to speak, and just make something out of it that I think is going to be worthwhile again. And so I've been sitting on a few ideas related to the Patreon, something that you guys, if you want to support the channel and you want to keep the content coming, there will be much more value added for you guys if you choose to become a member of the Patreon community. And since there's some of you watching right now, I would love for your feedback on some of these ideas. So for the last little bit, before I play us out, I want to run some of these ideas by you. Let me know your feedback. I'm going to be making some changes to that Patreon over the course of the next month, so that hopefully around Easter, we'll be rebooting and relaunching the Patreon with some new ideas, some new tiers, some new perks, and hopefully things that'll make it a little easier and a lot more valuable for you guys. So we obviously have on Patreon the Patron Feed. And one of the things that, let's see. Charlie, you're getting an error? I don't know. All right, Frank, thanks so much for joining the stream. Be sure to come back again sometime. Weird. Yeah, I don't know what error you're having, Charlie. I'm sorry. So obviously we have the Patron Feed, which is great because obviously it's the Patron Feed. But I want to, interesting, 404 page not found. I'll have to check in on that. It should just be patreon.com/Sean Pierce Johnson for anybody that's interested. So the Patron Feed obviously is the most easy thing to keep up with, but I want to add a few other things that I haven't added before that I think you guys would really enjoy. So obviously that'll be early access to the videos, 24 hours at most prior to the publication of a video on YouTube. You will be able to have access to it and you will be able to watch it before anybody else. In that post, I usually give my, excuse me, in that post, I usually give my post-production comments on the videos that I make. I don't just, give you guys the video and say, here you go, have at it. That's all you get. I actually will, afterwards, making the video, go back, watch it, and observe it then as the viewer. When the final product is done, how do I feel about it after the fact? Normally, my opinions on the product always stay the same. I still think it's really good, but I might notice something that I may not have noticed while I was on camera performing. So if you want any sort of extra insight into the gear that is being featured in the videos, or if you just want to see a little bit of behind the scenes stuff related to those videos, because I do usually include some production details that occurred, that's something that you will be seeing as part of that early access. The other thing that I wanted to add to it was some more behind the scenes content to kind of give you guys an idea of maybe, I want to give you guys an idea of maybe some of the things that go into running this ship, as it were, being able to keep it on the straight and narrow and making something of it. How do I maintain the content stream? What goes into a video shoot? That may even include a few extra video clips of maybe me showing you a little bit of my workflow on the post-production end. That's something that on YouTube I wouldn't really want to show because I just think it goes a little too far outside what I want my YouTube channel to be about. But if you're interested in that stuff, that would be part of that behind the scenes content. Some of the other things that I want to be able to do is, as I mentioned, the funds that we raise through the Patreon, we can then use those funds to finance purchases of pedals that the collective is interested in. So say, when we reach a tier of like $250 generated monthly, we can take a portion of that, put it into a fund to be able to buy a pedal that I can't necessarily just get the company to send me, that you guys will have a say in what that is going to be. Another thing that I don't know how many of you guys actually know this, but I've actually been doing some blog writing for Carvin Audio over the course of the last year and a half or so. And one of the things that I was thinking would be cool to show you guys would be the rough drafts that I send in. Those would most likely be shared about, I would say, a day after the articles actually go public. Sometimes I have to pare those articles down for the requirements of that blog. but you guys will be able to see the rough drafts, see the original idea versus what is actually out there. There might be a little bit of extra content in here. There probably be some spelling mistakes as well, but it'll be a little bit of more value added content for you guys, you know, if you choose to become a patron, and something that I think will, you know, work well for everybody. And then the other thing that I thought might be fun is just to give you guys an insight of what's coming up before anybody else. If gear starts coming in by the dozen, you'll be seeing pictures, you'll be seeing a list of it, so that you can just right off the bat, you'll know what's coming up. And then I can post updates for you guys as the production goes on. Now that's kind of the basic stuff. And that would be like the lowest tier, and every other tier above that would have access to that. So then the other stuff that I thought might be kind of fun is being able to give you guys like personal shout outs every time we get a new patron member. Also maybe doing a little title card at the end of these streams with all your names, just because a lot of the money that you guys are sending will be helping fund things like that. Maybe hooking up a second camera for these live streams so that I can have a camera on the pedal board, I can have a camera on me talking to you guys, and you guys obviously deserve some credit because you guys are funding the content that I don't directly get paid for. The other thing that I thought might be kind of fun is delving into my video archives, which I sort of started to do towards the end of last year or midway through last year, going back into my hard drives, finding videos that I worked on years ago that never ended up getting used, putting those up and allowing you guys to have the access to be able to see some of these early videos that I worked on. I have a lot of videos from when I worked at Carvin and when I worked at New Neighbor, and they're just video ideas that I wanted to pursue further, but never got the green light, or they wanted changes made to them, but I was unable to make the changes to them, or they just weren't sure that they wanted that video to be out there. Either way, they're all still sitting here on hard drives, and I'd like to be able to do something with it. So that would be part of it. Of course, the other thing that I thought of is in the higher tiers, you guys would get some cool little merch items. I've done some buttons over the years. Maybe we'll get some stickers made. Something very easy to throw in a normal letter envelope, stick a stamp on it, and send it anywhere in the world. Larger merch items will have to come at a later date. I'm not concerned with that right now. My concern is just giving you guys as much content as possible in terms of the patron page, but you know, making sure that you guys also have just a little something as a token of my gratitude, as it were. And then the final idea that I had would be for those of you who want to make the ultimate commitment. I'm giving you access to the Bat Cave, and I mean literally. Oh, thanks for tuning in, Darren. Hate to leave so close to the end, but I have a pizza and beer date to keep. Go do that thing. Have a good one, buddy. But basically, I'm giving you access to the Bat Cave. And what I mean by that is we'll start a secret little private Facebook group or Discord server or something where you guys on that tier will have the most direct access to be able to help me guide this content, see some really, really deep inside stuff. We'll do some patron hangouts where we just go full on, no holds barred. You can ask me any question you want, but it's like Fight Club. You don't talk about Fight Club. The first rule of the Batcave is we don't talk about the Batcave. Second rule of the Batcave is we don't talk about the Batcave. There's a reason that Batman's identity has remained a secret for so long to most of the public in Gotham. And that's because nobody talks about the Batcave or whatever. So those are just some ideas. Please feel free either right now in the chat as we play out or later on as you're watching. Leave me some feedback. I'd love to know what you guys think. I think that we can really make something out of it. So let's have a little bit of fun. Let's rock out a little bit. That was a good one at the end. I liked that one. I liked that. All right, guys. Well, it's getting to be about that time. Man, we had a lot of you guys watching tonight. That was so awesome. Guys and girls watching. I appreciate that so much. Thank you all. Oh, and look at what the cat dragged in right at the end. And he sent me a $5 super chat. What up, buddy? Good to see you. That's AJ Moore, Garguts Entertainment, one half of the Sweet Chin Music podcast, which hopefully we will be making return to the airwaves soon. And we got to talk about some stuff, buddy, because I think I have something, but we'll figure it out. But thanks so much for that super chat, buddy. But we are running a little over. That's not too bad. I don't mind that. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in from all over the world. You guys were coming out in droves tonight. And some of you, it's late where you are, but I appreciate you sticking around. Some of you, it's early where you are. Time changes are weird. I don't like it. Yeah, it is what it is. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope that you guys enjoyed yourselves. We talked a little bit of pedals. We talked about some future things with the channel related to the Patreon. So if you want to leave me some feedback on those Patreon ideas, please use the comment section. Please do hit me up on social media. And if you aren't already, please do click the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share a link with your friends. And as Aljon says, and we are out of time. The cameras are rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. There will be plenty more pro wrestling inserted into these things as we go on, as it always is. So thank you to all of you for watching. Thank you to my mods for helping me out with everything so much. And you guys have a great week, a great weekend. Stay safe, stay well, stay healthy. And I will see you all in 2 weeks' time. Same bat time. Same bat channel, and we'll be live, bud. Right, Aljon? Right here for SPJ Live on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you all so much. I wish you all great tone, great health, and of course, happy stomping. Cheers, friends. You might want to stay tuned this weekend because the SmackDown is coming. I'll see you this week.